Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee say that convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell is planning to ask President Trump to commute her federal prison sentence. That sentence is set to run through 2037.
Now, this morning, the committee's Democrats sent Trump a letter telling him that the information they've received shows that, quote, either Ms. Maxwell is herself requesting you release her from her 20-year prison sentence for her role as a co-conspirator in Jeffrey Epstein's international child sex trafficking ring, or that this child sex predator now holds such tremendous sway in the second Trump administration that you and your DOJ will follow her clemency recommendations.
The letter also mentions the alleged special treatment Maxwell is getting at the Bryan Federal Prison Camp in Texas. That's where she was transferred over the summer.
NBC reported this weekend that Maxwell was sending emails to her friends and family boasting about the prison's conditions. She writes in one of them, according to NBC, quote, the institution is run in an orderly fashion, which makes for a safer, more comfortable environment for all people concerned, inmates and guards alike. Maxwell also mentioned that, quote, I feel like I have dropped through Alice in Wonderland's looking glass. I am much, much happier here and, more importantly, safe.
Democrats are calling for Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who met with Maxwell over the summer, to be made available for a public hearing. They want to ask him questions about the use of law enforcement resources and address any, quote, potential exchange of favors.
One of Maxwell's lawyers, David Oscar Marcus, told NBC News in response to their reporting, quote, that's tabloid behavior, not responsible reporting. Anyone still interested in that kind of gossip reveals far more about themselves than about Ghislaine. It's time to get over the fact she is in a safer facility. We should want that for everyone. And I actually fully agree with that. It wasn't like they boasting that they're giving her chocolate sundaes all the time or something. She's saying she feels safer in the conditions. I am glad that she feels safer. I hope that everyone in prison feels safe. I mean, maybe I'm the bleeding heart liberal here. I don't think... I absolutely believe there are people who need to be in prison, and the purpose of prison is to keep us safe from them. Prison should not feel like torture. People in prison should not suffer starvation or sexual abuse, as particularly many men in prison do. That's all wrong and bad. We should, again, shouldn't be torture to be in prison. It should be, the conditions should be what the conditions are. So that she is safer and fine is perfectly fine by me. I don't, again, if some extraordinarily beyond the pale special treatment, that doesn't sound like it was. It sounds like she's just in a better prison now, and good for her.
Well, look, I think the conversation about prison reform is a whole other bigger conversation, and I think you and I would have a lot of common ground on that point. I think the point here, though, is the obvious and plausible suspicion that Ghislaine Maxwell is enjoying better conditions than she was previously in because of providing some sort of exculpatory information or testimony around Trump. The suspicion is that she was moved to this facility after meeting Todd Blanche for 9 hours over the course of 2 days, and basically, it would seem, saying that she hadn't seen Trump do anything nefarious anytime she was aware of him in the whole Epstein circle. So the fear is of a quid pro quo, essentially. You say that you didn't see Trump do anything wrong, and he will see you treated right. And this idea that she is going to petition him in some fashion for the commutation of her sentence is part of that picture as well. We are talking about a woman who got a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking. I mean, these are serious offences and a serious sentence to go with it.
Well, but the problem is, and a woman who was caught, lying in the course of her own defense so pathologically that I don't know how we could trust anything she said in either direction. She could say Trump never did anything wrong. She could say very damaging things about Trump. And in both cases, she will say, not to overly try to read into her character motivations, she is a malicious figure. She will say whatever she thinks is going to get her out of prison or into better conditions, right?
Well,
is that not the...
Well, that may well be true, but isn't it incumbent when there is a convicted person who does that, isn't it incumbent upon the government, the authorities or whatever, not to be taken in by that or not to utilize it to say, okay, you felon will say anything that we want you to say, so say this and we'll treat you well. I mean, that is a fundamentally corrupt bargain.
Well, yeah, well, certainly, but I can sense Democrats wanting her to say something very damaging to Trump. There's no evidence that Trump was involved in or aware of anything pernicious involving Jeffrey Epstein. He cut ties with him well before any public knowledge of Epstein's crimes. So in absence of any other information or any other suggestion that there was something, I would just be inclined to say we should disbelieve what she says in either direction, and she should continue to serve out her sentence. I certainly don't think she should be pardoned by this administration or any future administration.
No,
she should serve out her sentence in peace and safety like any other prisoner.
Oh, for sure. I think the fear is special treatment, but I'm sure we'll return to this topic numerous other times. Next on Rising, how the Dems lost the government shutdown. Stick around for my thoughts on that.